So in this pocket coaching, what I want to do is I want to show you the most effective, the easiest and simple way to create emails that literally impact people and make them want to take action on what it is that you're selling, how you sell it, the whole 9 yards. And the thing that I would have you do is what I'm doing with you right now, which is instead of being so good at writing emails, why don't you just be good at creating a video that does the talking itself? Because most of the time, instead of being a master copywriter, what you need to do is just be you and talk to your people and talk through to what you're actually doing. Think about it. What is it that you want to talk to them about? In this video, I wanted to talk to you about how to create emails. So that's what it is. That's what we're going to talk about. And so that's the first step. What is it? And then it's like, what do you want them to know? Well, I want you to know that if you want to create emails quickly and easily, and you want it to work really good, all you have to do is, I'm not joking, just think about what do you want to show them? Why is it important? The importance of what I'm sharing with you in this is instead of trying to bog your mind down and figure out all these frameworks and all these things about, how to say it the perfect way or whatever, why don't you just share with them what it is, why it matters to them, what the benefit is. And it's so much faster. Because if I walked into a room right now and I asked you, hey, so what is your thing about? You would be like, well, and then you would tell me. And then I'd be like, okay, cool. So what problem, does it solve? Or I was like, well, how do I get it? Like for me, if I want somebody to buy my pocket coaching, I just say, hey, if you want to buy the pocket coaching, here's what it does, okay? Here's why I've made it. Here's who it's for. Here's what the whole thing's about. And that's all you have to think about. You don't have to think about anything else. You don't have to come up with fancy stuff. You just be a real person authentically and say, hey, here's what it is. Here's why I made it. Here's how to go get it. Here's who it's for. Here's the benefit of it. And the only reason that you're not doing that is because you're just not doing that. Instead, what happens is we think about copywriting frameworks, we think about email writing frameworks, we think about all these different things instead of just creating a video. Like back in the 1800s or like before we had videos and all this stuff like this, it was like a dream. They probably thought like, wow, man, it'd be so cool if I could just, have this little device that was, like the size of this eraser here, your phone, and I could just talk to it in a video and send that to somebody instead of like having to write a letter, stick it in an envelope, put it on a horse and, all the way across the world in a piece of letter to hope that they got the letter and everything, where we can just create a video right now and tell people what we want them to know and help them the way we want to help them. And then if we want to, we can stick it in an email. And that's why I do that with an email. So in an email, the first thing I do is in the beginning, I just open up right away with, hey, here's something that I got for you. Or I ask them a question. I'm like, hey, do you want to know about this thing? Or, hey, did you know about this? Or I thought you wanted to know about this. And then the moment you do that, you're like, well, I've created that for you. If you're this type of person, here it is. And then you show a link, you can put a picture of the video, or you don't have to. And then you link them to go watch a video somewhere. It can be on your website. It can be on any video platform. It doesn't matter. They'll get the message. But then you can quickly create something and actually send it and actually help them. You see how easy this is? That's the point of like the Make Once brand is I don't want you to complicate things. It's more important that you create it and send it and build it and create it and send it and build it, and listen and fix it and build it and send it to them than trying to like fit into all these frameworks and molds. I was going to go, and I'll still give it to you, but I was going to go create this ChatGPT thing and all this stuff, which I'm going to give that to you, and I'm going to show you how I use it and all of that. But what I really wanted to talk to you about, in this pocket coaching was the fact that you've got this amazing device that you're watching this video on right now, and it's got cameras on it, and it's got a microphone on it, and you can literally use that to start talking to people. And I just hope that you realize that, as silly as that sounds, because that's all you have to do is use it. Like back here, I've got this microphone, this camera, and this screen. All I have to do is I have to just turn it on and help you get a piece of the puzzle figured out. We use things like this, like the whiteboard, and we just get things figured out, right? And we just show people how to do this. I've got a simple light here, okay? I've got my camera. I'm on my phone right now. And that's it. And you need to help them get from point A to point B, and you need to make it simple for them. So instead of thinking about, well, how do I write an email or what do I say? Instead, ask yourself, what am I trying to do here? I'm trying to get them from over here, where they don't know how to do whatever it is that you're talking about, to over here, where they do know how to do it. They do know how to, work through it. What are those steps? How do you get them across? Just take one of these steps and break it down. Okay? They don't know how to do this step over here. They do know how to do this step, and you just take them across. And if they complete each one of these, guess what happens? They get across. They give you the money. You gave them the value. Everybody wins. It's the most beautiful thing. So just take one of those steps and break it down for them. If you want to create a piece of content, if you want to create an email, if you want to create a training, just create the content. Use your tools. Use these new age tools that we've had for 2 decades now, right? It's never been easier to share. It's never been easier to create a piece of content. And I know people make money, and I've made money off of it too, selling these frameworks and making it sound like it's hard and all of that. But looking at it now, and I bet if you went to anybody that has been doing this stuff where we help people make money online by selling our advice, if you go to any of those people, I promise you, what you'll see at the end is all you had to do is just speak up. All you had to do was, get excited and share it with them and tell them what to do afterwards. Like what I want you to do is I want you to think in your mind, I want you to go, you know what? I'm literally, like if Mike says that, it takes about 20 interactions with somebody before they decide they want to purchase from you because, they need to know, like, and trust you. Then I want you to think about, okay, this weekend, I've got to make 20 videos where I'm talking to my audience, and I got to take those videos and just stick them in an email so that when somebody opts in, one email comes after the next. And you know how you do it? Is like this. When I think about the process of what I'm saying to you, it's like, let's say email 1 here, right? I go to send it to you. Okay? What you'd really want to use ChatGPT for is like, hey, here's this part of the process that I'm teaching people. What's the best way for me to teach this process in a short video? Okay? Outline, how the video would look or how the video would go. Take that, idea, that spark, and then sit down and do your damn best. Do your freaking best to create that video and send it to them. And then that's the first email. Okay, so you send that email to them. The next email goes out. Email number 2, the way I would think about it is, imagine they watched this email. Okay, so they watched it, but they still didn't buy. So on this next email, we're going to carry on from that. And I'm going to say to them, hey, I sent you an email yesterday, and we were talking about XYZ. And at the end, I told you to go join my Build Lab program or whatever your program is. And you didn't join. Why? Like, why didn't you join? Is there something holding you back? Think in your own brain what you would ask somebody. Was it me? Was it me that I didn't create something that made sense to you? Was it you don't believe the program works? Like, what is it? Because if I don't know, and you're here getting this email, that means that I must have said something to you that sparked you and made you want to learn this. But there's something now that there's a disconnect, and I just want to help you. And so, tell me what that is. But outside of that, let's take a look at this next step in the process. And so when I do like a follow-up email, I think about it like this. It's like, I've got my program, right? So this is like my core thing that I get somebody through. Okay, they start here, and then they go through each of these steps. And if they go through each of these steps correctly, then they'll come out this side with the answer. Okay, so we're clear on that. Well, guess what? Here's 9 emails immediately that I can do back to back, but each one of these steps has probably 3 little sub-steps. And if each one of these had 3 little sub-steps, we've got 9 emails times 3 equals what? Oh, 27 emails. But Mike said we need 20 interactions on average to get somebody to buy from us. So if you just lay out your program and you take them through, so email 1 is step 1. So email 1 would be step 1.1. Email 2 would be step 1.2. Email 3 would be step 1.3. Okay? So it's like email 1's the whole step. Email 2 is this, and you go through the whole thing and you've got all your emails made, and it's just a quick video. Does that make sense? Now, look what I just did with you. If we were in a room and you were standing in front of me, as I assume you are through this video, like that's how I think about it, I would show something to you and then I would say to you, does that make sense? Do I need to go more, do I need to dive deeper into that? And even though that I know you're not here to answer me right now, I know that by me asking you, does that make sense? And then saying to you afterwards, if it doesn't make sense, then go into the Make Once community and say, Mike, on Pocket Coaching video number 30 or 31 or whatever, you were talking about this, and it doesn't quite make sense to me. Can you go deeper on that and explain it to me? And guess what I'll do? I will do just that. And guess what you would do if your person did it to you? You would do just that. And then what have you done there? You've helped them get what they want. You've helped them get clarity. You've helped them move forward. Does that make sense? So, I hope this reaches you well. I hope you got the point here, but all you got to do is just create that video. Okay? So that's what I want you to do. I just want you to, instead of thinking about frameworks, instead of thinking about writing, instead of thinking about all these things, just set up your phone or your camera and talk to it. And then at the end, ask them to do something. So it's like, here's what I got. Here's who it's for. Here's what it can do. Here's everything that you need to know about it to be able to make a decision or to get it completed or to do it. And then at the end, say, so here's what you need to do next. Here's the next thing to do. And then ask them if they have any questions. You get what I mean? It's simple, right? Okay. I'll see you tomorrow.